news from Harry, basically, that he regrets. He has regrets now, and he wants to make amends with him. I think I see that as a bit of a reflection of how badly things are going behind. Well, I think it's a good indicator that both Harry and Meghan know they've pretty much failed out at this point. And so the only thing they have left is going back to his family. They're not going back as victors in this situation. They're going back.
Oh, can you even believe it? Harry actually went and chose his dad over her. Yup, the rumors are true. And Meghan? She's totally spiraling somewhere, drowning in her dramatic tears. Honestly, we kinda saw this coming, didn't we? So get this. Prince Harry finally sat down for tea with King Charles. Like actual tea, just the two of them. The sheer audacity.
Were a direct result.
Are you telling me you think there's as much love between Harry and Meghan as there is between William and Kate?
No, I'm just saying Harry tries to justify his actions by saying I'm protecting my wife or I'm defending my wife. Well, we've got the future queen over here. You know,
And wait for it. It lasted just 55 minutes. That's it. Shorter than your average coffee break, but somehow it managed to break the entire internet. And don't get it twisted. This wasn't some sappy, heart-melting father-son reunion with hugs and I missed you moments. No, this was pure business. Polished, controlled, staged like a scene ripped straight out of a political thriller. Every glance, every tiny pause, even every sip of tea was like under a microscope. The tension could slice glass.
But the thing is, you burned the bridges really, really badly when you left. I mean, when I left, I'm referring to obviously Harry and Meghan. And having
And here's the thing. Harry's visit carried so much emotional weight, more than anyone outside the palace walls could even imagine. This wasn't just another scheduled royal appearance. This was the first time he'd seen his father since the whole bombshell about Charles's health surfaced. Can you even? The stakes were sky high.
On the side of the wife, he and the brother seemed to be further apart than ever. I had Robert Jobson earlier. I was asking about whether, because there were rumours that King Charles is...
But unlike the usual circus with paparazzi flashing their cameras at every awkward grin and stiff handshake, this time was different. This visit was locked down tighter than a royal vault. No leaks, no whispers, every step was monitored, and not a single peep hit social media until after it all ended. The silence, deafening. And honestly, that's what made the whole thing so chillingly dramatic. And here's where it gets juicy. Meghan was nowhere to be seen. Her absence, it painted 1,000 stories in everyone's minds. Was Harry walking straight into some royal trap? Was this secretly a heartfelt father-son breakthrough? Or, more likely, was it all just for optics, another royal chess move disguised as a casual cup of tea?
When you're trying to make amends, and it feels like whiplash. I mentioned this, guys, in a previous video. Is like
Charles, of course, was his usual tightly wound self, the total opposite of Harry's more open public vibe. No gushing, no drama, no big declarations. He just observed, spoke when necessary, left when done, cold, crisp, clinical. And poor Harry, he carried the weight of everyone's expectations on his shoulders, his father's, the public's. Every single nod, every half smile, every breath had to be picture perfect. One slip and boom, headline fodder. But even while Harry sat there trying to be flawless, Meghan's shadow loomed over that room like a ghost. You couldn't see her, but oh, you felt her. Her absence made the whole thing feel incomplete, haunted even. Because in that family, who shows up matters, but who doesn't. That matters even more. While Harry was politely sipping his tea, Meghan's influence was slipping right into the narrative. She wasn't there physically, but you just know her presence was hanging in the air. Every repost, every coincidentally timed social media post screamed, Harry still orbits her world, her opinion still at the center of his galaxy. And then, oh, this is rich, a video of Harry playfully sword fighting with a little kid suddenly started spreading online. Everyone instantly assumed Meghan had filmed it. Of course they did. But plot twist, it wasn't her at all. It was from Hello magazine. Still, the way it popped up right then, like clockwork. Even if she didn't post it, the timing whispered her signature move. He's still mine. And that, darling, is Meghan's power play. Silence. She doesn't need to be seen to rule the narrative. Her absence becomes its own spectacle. Her quiet shadow becomes an obsession. Every glance at Harry still circles right back to her. That's her brilliance. She can skip the room entirely and yet somehow still make it feel like she's running the show. Even the palace insiders can't ignore it. That dizzying contrast between her invisibility and her omnipresence, absolutely striking. Poor Harry tries to juggle royal duty, the press, and his messy family drama. But Meghan, she's already controlling the optics from thousands of miles away, like some kind of royal puppet master. It's wild. This invisible grip she has, it shapes everything. It keeps Harry tied to her influence, maybe without him even realizing it. While he's over there smiling politely with Charles, trying so hard to hold it together, Meghan is quietly ensuring he still fits perfectly into her carefully crafted story. And then, the plot thickens. The elephant in the room, Prince William, completely MIA. No reunion, no brotherly handshake, not even a stiff royal nod, nothing. His absence practically screamed through the palace halls. The optics? Brutal. Royal watchers, tabloids, social media, they all exploded. Was this a deliberate snub, a silent signal that the brothers are still fractured, or just another messy chapter in their never-ending strained sibling saga? Everyone had theories and none of them were pretty. Harry, meanwhile, tried to put on his best prince face. Polite, charming, composed. But you could see the tension under that smile. Every movement was measured, every gesture calculated, like he was walking a tightrope between being the adored younger royal and a man molded by Hollywood drama. And people are whispering that maybe, just maybe, he's unhappy and secretly wants to come home. Can you even imagine the chaos if that were true? While William, of course, kept his icy distance, focused on his duties, on public appearances, on maintaining that calm, untouchable image. The contrast between the brothers is honestly shocking. One drowning in emotion, media storms, and scrutiny. The other, solid, steadfast, almost unbothered. And let's be real, this isn't just tea and chatter. This is a subtle war, a war of presence, influence, perception. Harry may be the one who actually sat with Charles, but the unspoken tension with William, it's keeping the entire royal gossip mill spinning like mad. And honestly, it's juicier than any scripted royal drama could ever dream to be. Honestly, Harry's transformation is just impossible to ignore. Once upon a time, he was the polished, golden royal, picture perfect. But now, he's like two different people trapped in one body. Every interview, every gesture, every interaction shows a man torn between two worlds. There's Windsor Harry, raised on royal etiquette, stiff collars, and ancient duty. And then there's Hollywood Harry, media savvy, camera ready, obsessed with crafting the perfect narrative. Sometimes they blend like butter. Other times, it's painfully obvious which side is winning. Even the tiniest moments betray the tension. A simple smile at a child, a quiet nod at an event, or some casual throwaway comment online, it all becomes fodder. The fans dissect it, the press magnifies it, and suddenly one week turns into a full-blown scandal. Charles and William, in contrast, stay chillingly composed, measured, deliberate. Their royal armor never cracks. While Harry is out here, balancing on the edge of breaking, they're quietly marching on like they're untouchable. And that just makes Harry look even more fragile. The public only gets fragments of Harry's life, interviews, appearances, carefully curated clips. The real story is what we don't see, the tension, the private conversations, the unsaid words, all the invisible weight he carries. And Meghan? She's always watching, always influencing, making sure the spotlight never drifts too far from their Sussex narrative. She wanted loyalty, control, the story. And for so long, Harry gave her that. But this time, he chose his family. He sat down with his father. He gave the monarchy his presence. And Meghan, intentionally or not, became the absence that screamed louder than anything she could have said. The palace stayed composed. The monarchy stood firm. And the drama? It's only just beginning, because here's the truth. That little 55-minute tea exposed more than anyone expected. It didn't heal the rift. It didn't fix anything. It just laid bare how fractured Harry still is inside. Every tiny, polite smile hinted at turmoil. Every carefully measured gesture screamed of someone trying desperately to belong somewhere and realizing he doesn't fully belong anywhere. On one side, the monarchy, tradition, rules, unshakable duty. On the other, Meghan, media power, image control, glittering chaos. Harry stood there caught between them like a man split in half. Charles's attentiveness? Just a formality, a courtesy. It wasn't love. It wasn't a bond. There were no tears, no "I missed you," no sweeping emotional reconnection, just duty. Harry smiled, nodded, played the part, but you could see it. The tiny cracks, the storm trembling behind his eyes. And Meghan, Meghan. Her influence shaped that public mask he wore. She built him for performance, crafted that Hollywood shine, and it clashed so violently with the stiff royal mold. Harry swung back and forth between vulnerable openness and perfectly polished theatrics. At moments, he seemed heartbreakingly real. At others, like he was just acting out a part. And everyone was watching, trying to figure out which Harry was real. The raw, wounded son, or the calculated celebrity prince. Even when he was just standing there, silently nodding to Charles, it felt like a performance. And even the tiniest casual moments betrayed him, laughing too brightly, bouncing a little too energetically, forcing charm like it was armor. It was like he was trying to convince the room, and himself, that he was fine, but he's not. The tension shows, the cracks show. He's trying to reconcile love, loyalty, and duty. And honestly, he's failing spectacularly, because the palace thrives on control, on image, on perfection. And Harry, despite every desperate effort, is messy, and the public is obsessed with it. Every move he makes is picked apart. Cameras zoom in, tabloids circle like vultures. Social media dissects every flicker of emotion. Everyone is waiting for the tiniest hint of rebellion, the smallest misstep. It's exhausting just to watch. Imagine living it. And meanwhile, Meghan's quiet grip doesn't loosen. From a distance, she orchestrates her side of the story. Every repost, every subtle online gesture, every carefully timed public message keeps Harry wrapped inside her orbit. She doesn't even have to show up to dominate the narrative. That's her real power, invisibility with impact. Charles and William, of course, keep gliding forward with icy precision. They're statues, deliberate, measured, untouched by chaos. Harry? He's a storm in human form, constantly battling this chasm between what the world expects and what he actually feels. One wrong word, one misunderstood gesture, and the headlines erupt like fireworks. And through it all, the public only gets fragments. Carefully curated clips, sanitized interviews, staged appearances. The real story, the tension, the whispered arguments, the invisible emotional weight, stays hidden behind palace doors. But oh, it leaks through Harry's eyes every single time. And Meghan, she's always there, always watching, always ensuring the spotlight never drifts far. She wanted the loyalty, the narrative, the control. But Harry, maybe for the first time in forever, chose family. He chose the monarchy. He chose to show up for his father, even knowing it might cost him with her. And that choice, it rattled the whole royal ecosystem. Meghan stayed invisible, but her absence screamed. The palace stayed composed, cold as ever. And Harry, he walked out of that 55-minute meeting looking like a man who'd been cracked open and stitched back together all wrong. Because here's the gossip no one can deny. He may have chosen family over love, but in doing it, he might have lost both.